We, unfortunately, we are far behind where we should be. We are talking about issues that we should have dealt with, say 20 years ago, and moved on to other issues of even community policing. Now we are trying to put the cart before the horse. Wanting to bring community policing, presently as constituted, will not achieve anything. The constable is not an employee of the federal government or the states. He is not paid. He would not be armed. He will have his uniform. He would be tasked to do what any citizen can do by the Constitution, effect a civilian arrest and hand over to the police. So we're not going anywhere. So by now we should have gone beyond. People talk and say in Nigeria, we are not matured enough, we are not this, we are not that. And I beg to ask a question. How is the current situation different under the federal government? How will it be any different from under the states? We will go through a process and mature in it. We can properly constitute a state police board. We have retired senior police officers who can come and set these things up. Lagos State has shown how LASMA can work. So it's doable. We shouldn't be having this conversation. The fact that we are having this conversation shows how far behind we are in these issues. Unfortunately, people are paying every day in this country with their lives. People die every day in this country, and we have become numb as a society to the fact that people die. People die needlessly. The amount of kidnapping, vehicle jacking, kidnap for ransom, the farmer herders clashes. I saw the local government chairman of Zango Kataf, who was talking on air. I mean, you could see in his whole demeanor, the guy was already very helpless. We all look to Abuja for security. Meanwhile, we can make security a campaign matter with our state governors. Right now, the state governors will tell you they are handicapped. The then Zamfara state governor resigned as CSO of the state because he said, hey, look here, I don't have the control of the apparatus of state. The governor of Borno, who said that he may ask for, I'm sure he was joking, may ask for the military to be pulled out so that they can send in hunters. This is not a matter for hunters. So, I mean, across the country...
But it just points to the fact that how frustrated he is with the situation.
He is frustrated. If he is frustrated as a governor of resources, how frustrated are the battalion commanders at the front lines? What logistics support do they have? Now the army is now muting up an issue of army aviation, which I think is something we should have done by now. The army should have its own air unit. It should have its own air unit. Should have its own surveillance units. Every super camp should be set up with platforms that will give them eyes and ears beyond their camps. It is not a joke when we tell you that the army on routine patrols sometimes are flying blind, because when they pull out from their bases, some people will inform the other side that these guys are moving. You can't see what's on the other side.
So is it possible that there are saboteurs within the structure itself?
We are talking about competence, not competence, we're talking about capability to protect. Where would the people align? Where would they fall to? Do they feel more confident that the government has the wherewithal to respond and to protect them? Now, by pulling back to super camps, we're saving equipment, yes. We're saving manpower, we're saving life, yes. But then that leaves with a lot of ungoverned spaces and then slows down the response time. The challenge now is when you want to respond, you need to go on those roads, which is why the military introduced moving out on bikes and having to be able to at least meander around some of these traps they are faced with. So the issues for me, I think, maybe we're not going to get it until the next administration. I don't think we'll get it right. But some of us are beginning to propose that maybe we are right for a situation where we have a national security advisor who is not ex-service anything. Let's have now a renewed thinking, a policy-first approach, so that when the Navy is bringing up the idea, there's no bias. When the Army is bringing up no bias. When the DSS is saying this is what we need, no bias. When the police is saying what, there's no bias. There's no traditional way of thinking. There's no constituency to fall back to. It's all, let us come. That's why you're seeing this interagency rivalry. that the inconsistency in collaboration. Because at the peak of the person that brings the advice into the president, at that very peak, some things are not the way it should be. So when the NSA said he has been charged, so where would he start from? The DSS has several operations running. The police has several operations running. The army has several operations running. Which one will he begin to review? How do we go from here? So what exactly does he want to do in 3 years' time? We can't solve Nigeria's insecurity problem in the next 5 years. I dare say, no, we cannot. And if we continue like this, by 2030, I think we're estimated to outgrow the US in population size. Then Nigeria is estimated to become 350 million. Just imagine when we are 350 million, what space do the farmers have to farm? What space would the herders have to herd?